Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 348 based on novel. So let's start. On the other side, the red zone in the center of the West Temple, the place of reincarnation. Since Duo Chifei let Xiao Yang leave here, the black dragon and wolf also passed by silently. Immediately, Duo Chifei was going to follow Xiao Yang to the depths of the temple, trying to explore Xiao Yang's purpose. But however, he found that these two cliffs were full of extremely tyrannical restrictions, and this type of imprisonment was obviously aimed at himself. He had just stepped out of the Thunder Mountain and was temporarily imprisoned by the restrictions. Lord of Soul Li. A roar, like an angry lion, roared. The thunder of reincarnation was deafening. At this moment, a bad thought appeared in Du Chifei's heart. If it wasn't for the fact that his mother was related to the Master of Soul Li by blood, it would be impossible for Du Chifei to help the Master of Soul Li secretly. But now, a trace of unpleasant fluctuations pervades. It is this restraint that has hindered Du Chifei for a long time. As for the other elites such as the Palace Master of the West Temple and the head of Li Soul Guard, they have already been ambushed around the temple. A few people will be reduced to prisoners. This plan can be said to be extremely meticulous in planning by the Master of Li Soul. For Xiao Yang, it is a situation of 10 deaths and no life. Inside the temple, in battle. With a loud voice, he swallowed hard. What a terrifying method. Looking at the 4 people who fell into the realm of darkness, Yue couldn't help but said. Just now, the black-patterned saint cloth squirmed and expanded behind Xiao Yang, directly destroying other temples in the desert hinterland. At this time, the entire desert hinterland was completely shrouded. And here, it is clearly Xiao Yang's home field, and it is also in Xiao Yang's domain. The dark world formed after the black-patterned holy clothes swelled. A rare dark attribute. In the realm of darkness, a roaring figure walked in the air, with countless ghosts behind him still surrounding him. It seems that no matter how the dark world devours and destroys these ghosts, the Master of the Soul will condense, and with such a huge number of ghosts, the invisible power of vision is suffocating. The evil Xiao Yang hovered in the void of the dark world, his eyes became deep and he stared at the Lord of Li Soul, who was surrounded by countless ghosts. In that dense black ghost, what kind of body was the Lord of Li Soul? Conspicuous. I clearly remember that during the previous World War, none of the 10 people in the 10 halls of Yama and Luo reached the level of reincarnation. After 10,000 years, the strength of the Hall of 5 Kings has reached half of reincarnation, which is really surprising. On the body of Lord Li Soul, there are countless silver powers and black energy surrounding him, and it seems that some kind of extremely special power is brewing. His words are obviously to delay time. My clan's patriarch is a prophet, isn't it something you can covet? Furthermore, in 10,000 years, the Master of your soul still doesn't know where you are. Xiao Yang smiled slowly, the black-patterned holy clothes behind him, against the background of the realm of darkness, like a real demon, inside his body. An aura like a sleeping dragon was condensing rapidly. He naturally knew that the Lord of Li Soul was deliberately delaying time, but he was not in a hurry, because he was the same. Starter. For a semi-reincarnation powerhouse, it will take a lot of time to use the thunder technique. After all, a powerhouse of this level has already surpassed the heavens and the earth. It turns out, after the First World War, Yama of the 10 temples was ordered by the patriarch of the Xiao clan to seal himself. During the 10,000 years of the seal, his strength continued to increase, so that the first 5 kings' palaces touched the reincarnation. I'm afraid it was also the unpredictable actions of the patriarch who made Yama of the 10th palace escape. Xiao Yang's body consciousness nodded slightly in the sea of fighting qi. According to Xiao Sunsheng's words from the 5 Kings' Palace, Xiao Yang also understood something. If that's the case, then enjoy the feast I specially prepared for you. Enjoy the embrace of death. After a while, Lord Li Soul didn't hesitate, the pink flames jumped instantly on the illusory palm, and immediately the palms were folded, and some wonderful and mysterious handprints quickly appeared. Boom! With the Lord Li's actions, traces of black air diffused out, covering the countless ghosts around him. The black air is like a corrosive tide, just covering the ghosts. The power of those ghosts is skyrocketing like a soaring, the eyes are scarlet, and the violent aura shows out. Being so increased by the Lord of Li Soul, the power of countless ghosts has greatly increased, and the numbers are stacked together. In addition to the beating of pink flames, a gate to the void slowly emerges. A strange wave of tremors of the soul stepped out from the gate of the void, and immediately a flesh-colored object like a sphere, with countless strange tentacles appeared around the sphere, and a pair of scarlet pupils, showing endless slaughter, emerges slowly. No, but the corpse will be the corpse. Seeing this scene, Yuer's expression shrank tightly, and he lost his voice. The corpse is said to be a summoning object with the power of the ghost world. Its power is definitely not inferior to the ghost, nor to the ghost world. It is more like a supreme creature from the underworld. The power of the 8-star Do Xian reached the peak of perfection. It is said that it is the existence of the supreme king in the underworld, but who knew that such a terrifying existence would be summoned by the master of the soul like a pet? A pet under the throne of Pluto. It seems that you have a lot of ambitions. Seeing the master of Li Soul's methods, the evil Xiao Yang said indifferently. He knew that this creature had an extraordinary status in the underworld. Except for a few underworld masters who could be mobilized, no one could order to expel it. Unexpectedly, it was actually controlled by the master of the soul. It seems that the master of the soul there is a lot of research and understanding in the underworld. It's just a bunch of ignorant ghosts. Humans only know that the Great Thousand World is divided into 7 realms, but they don't know that the underworld, which is not among the 7 realms, is a huge area comparable to the human world. Once I truly set foot in the underworld, or control the underworld, the vast world, even the evil races outside the territory, will be solved. Although my exploration of the underworld is still in the first stage, it will not be a waste to kill you with this guy. The corpse general, kill him for me. At the end of the sentence, the eyes of Lord Li's soul were filled with madness. A corpse general, old man. Black fiend star cage. Seeing that the behemoth in front of him moved its pace like a mountain, and every time he walked, there was an aura like the mountains and the ground, but Xiao Yang couldn't help but laugh. The world only knows that the Xiao family is the first race in the Great Thousand World, but who can explain the relationship between the Xiao family and the underworld? Weng hum. Xiao Yang's voice fell, and countless dark spots of light fell off directly from the black-patterned holy clothes behind him, and immediately turned into pieces of fluff, which permeated the entire darkness. With Yang's actions like this, after the corpse general who had the supreme destructive power, there was a strange horror in his pupils. This breath, this power. It seems like the real giant in the underworld, who casts the realm of darkness in front of him. Who is it? Boom. A deafening sound permeated the entire darkness, and immediately the corpse of the ball and the evil Xiao Yang fought together. Hey! After Xiao Yang finished casting the black demon star cage, countless dark fluffs fell off the black-patterned holy clothes behind him, and immediately formed a huge star cage in the entire void. Above the star cage, countless black patterns permeate, which is derived from the special power of the underworld. Damn it! Corpse General, what are you doing? Kill him for me. Seeing the corpse's corpse remained motionless, his eyes never moved above the black star cage, an uneasy thought emerged from the main body of Li's soul. The strength of this guy, in the underworld, is the top high-ranking person. This is because the master of the soul has racked his brains and let Duo Chifei use the power of reincarnation to rush into the underworld and capture it back. Fortunately, he has a lot of enough power. The method of controlling it has become the real right arm of the Lord of Soul Li, but now, this guy is actually motionless, and even the corpse crystal that controls the corpse's body shakes violently, and a sense of unease permeates. Lord! In an instant, a struggling cry filled the corpse's body from the spherical corpse. Its body became extremely hard, stuck in the air, and its eyes twitched. Despicable. Seeing this scene, the evil Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and immediately stared at the Lord of Li's soul, raised his palm, a desolate aura, stepped through the void, and patted the Lord of Li's soul. Wang buzzing. Following Xiao's actions, the black evil star cage in the realm of darkness seemed to be pulled, and shot directly at the Lord of Li's soul at the speed of a meteor. Space compass, transfer. Looking at the black fiend star cage with incomparably tyrannical imprisoning power, the master of the soul did not dare to neglect, and there were mysterious lines on his hands. With a sound, when the black evil star cage came to the Lord of Soul Li, the void squirmed and was swallowed up by him in an instant, and calm was restored here. Controlling the overlord of the underworld by special means, if this matter is known to the underworld, I am afraid that the 10 Li soul realm will not be able to bear his anger. The meaning of warning is obvious. Bastard, get out of here. Hearing Xiao Yang's words of evil intent, the master of Li's soul immediately waved his hand and dismissed the corpse. He knew that, being stimulated by Xiao Yang's methods, it would not be long before it would break free of himself. Control back to the underworld. It doesn't matter to struggle, it's meaningless. One move will determine the outcome. After a while, the pink flame in Lord Li's hand was beating, and then the Lord of Li's soul said lightly, He knew that if it dragged on for a long time, it would be extremely bad for him. That's what it means. Hearing the words of the Master Li, the evil Xiao Yang also laughed. The dark attribute on his body originally originated from the underworld. The act of the Lord of Li's soul just now was undoubtedly self-destruction, but if he did not have the dark attribute, I am afraid that facing the corpse would be a fierce battle. Come on. Seeing Xiao Yang, the rebellious evil spirit in front of him, the Master of Li's soul laughed. He laughed at Xiao Yang and Xiao Sensheng in the Hall of Five Kings living in Xiao Yang's body, because this is his own territory. Even if it is covered by the realm of darkness at this time, the two of them will not be his opponents in the end. Thunder. Lord Li's soul's eyes were stern, and his index finger suddenly pointed to the sky, turning into a giant beam of light in the sky. After a moment, the entire dark world seemed to be pulled by some kind of force, and countless mad thunder broke through the darkness. The coverage of the world, covering the sky. At this moment, in the silent world of darkness, countless thunders filled the air, completely igniting this place. Thunder was a strange scarlet color, and it seemed that with a single blow, it would be able to break through the realm of darkness, and even this scarlet thunder contained a power that Xiao Yang couldn't understand. That is the power of reincarnation. There is no doubt that the scarlet thunder is full of thunder, although it is not as good as the Thunder Master Grey Thunder, but it also contains a huge threat to the current evil intentions Xiao Yang. Darkness Execution Blade. Looking at this scene, a sinister smile emanated from the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth, the black patterned holy garment floated slightly, and all the darkness in the world of darkness retreated and poured into the dark holy garment. Restored the original appearance of the desert hinterland. The Lord of Soul Li stood high in the golden desert, with countless scarlet thunderbolts surrounding him. Once the offensive was condensed, he slashed out with one finger, as if the real curtain of the sky had fallen, slashing everything in the world. And the evil intentions Xiao Yang took back the realm of darkness. The black patterned holy robe was squirming, bursts of black liquid filled out, and then quietly in front of him, it slowly turned into a black broken blade that touched about an inch. There are no strange fluctuations on the black broken blade, but on the black broken blade, a huge Xiao character seems to be carefully carved out by a real god, showing the supreme evil power. And it was this extremely quiet fluctuation that made Yu and Heishan Longlang's eyes shrink tightly. They knew that fluctuations of this level could only be possessed by real semi-reincarnation powerhouses. I don't know who will win. Seeing this scene, Yu couldn't help but look nervous and prayed for Xiao Yang slightly. Strange, why are there so many tyrannical breaths emerging? But the Heishan Longlang shook his head helplessly. Lei Wu Liao Yuan. With a loud shout, his fingers pointed down at Xiao Yang's location, and the supremely terrifying aura was vividly displayed. The scarlet thunder pierced through the golden desert, and the fire was shining everywhere, only to see the scarlet thunder dragon leaping down and directly hitting the evil Xiao Yang. The scarlet thunder flood dragon was extremely fast, but at the critical moment, the evil intention Xiao Yang suddenly stretched out his palm and grabbed the black broken blade in one fell swoop. Cut! A soft voice cut through the entire sky, and then the palm was raised rather jerky, and the black broken blade of the palm drew a black giant horn, and the giant horn was filled with countless ancient lines. Even a Xiao character, prominently. The scarlet thunder flood dragon roared directly at Xiao Yang, and Xiao Yang's figure was immediately retreated into the desert. In a short time, a huge bottomless pit poured out, and countless sands on the desert floor the grains were rolled up by the thunder. Behead me! Xiao Yang roared after being attacked by the scarlet thunder dragon. Suddenly, Xiao Yang, who was about to fail, was like a ferocious beast, with a black light, suddenly bursting out of the deep pit in the desert. Go away, slashing directly at the Lord of Li's soul above the sky. How is it possible? At this moment, countless scarlet thunderbolts collapsed under the black blade light, and even a solemn aura of death filled the mind of the Lord of Souls. Not good. A burst of heart palpitations emerged, and the Lord of Li's soul just wanted to take precautions, but was directly hit by the black blade light, and he was seriously injured in the blink of an eye. Just when the Lord of Li's soul felt that he was about to be seriously injured, a pure white sacred halo, like a god, completely shattered the black blade light. That kind of power is not reincarnation, but it belongs to the power of light. Lord Li Hun looked up with difficulty, but saw a figure that was enough to make everything pale, and said in a lost voice, "Light. The demon of light. Demon of light." Seeing the shadowy figure bathed in the divine halo just a short distance away, Lord Li's soul raised his head with difficulty and said. At this moment, countless yellow sands rolled up in the desert hinterland of the sky, and at the end of a scene like a huge wave of sand and dust, a lonely and arrogant figure stood out. I don't know why, the demon of light has an extremely tyrannical hatred for himself. How could he suddenly show up today? What's more, this guy will actually save himself. Is the sun coming out west? One question after another plagued Lord Li Sol, but what the Lord Li Sol did not expect was that Xiao Sensheng, who lived in Xiao Yang's body, could actually use Xiao Yang's power to burst out such a tyrannical force, resisting his strongest blow, and even nearly inflicted fatal damage on himself. Demon of Light. With the sudden appearance of the Demon of Light, the battle between the evil Xiao Yang and the master of Li Sol was temporarily separated, and Haisha Longlang and Yue couldn't help but take a deep breath. The Demon of Light has already led the army to attack Li Sol territory for more than half a year. Although it has never surpassed the 7-star Dozian powerhouse, it seems to be planning something, but that kind of battle has made the entire Li Sol territory panic, and the Devil Wei's leader, the Demon of Light, never showed up. Now that the Devil of Light has appeared, and he is still saving the Lord of Li Sol from danger, the two of them can't help but be vigilant. The Lord of Li Sol is a domain master. If he joins forces with the Devil of Light, I'm afraid. The Devil of Light. Xiao Yang, who was in the deep pit, had just climbed out of the bottomless pit in the desert. He looked at the shadow beside the Lord of Souls indifferently, and lost his voice. The power of the Lord of Li Sol is beyond his imagination. Although he finally broke his thunder power, he could seriously injure him in a blink of an eye, but the Demon of Light jumped out halfway, which made the evil Xiao Yang's heart sink. Today's self is extremely weak, and I am afraid that I can no longer use the power of half-reincarnation. It will be extremely difficult to deal with a Demon of Light. After all, I just faced the full blow of the Lord of Souls, but it still consumes too much power. Do not misunderstand. I have nothing to do with this bastard. Looking at Xiao Yang's three people's astonished eyes, Qianying Woman's Demon of Light nodded lightly, and said casually, "Then what are you?" Lord Li Sol was also at a loss at this time. I have an undeniable feud with the Lord of Li Sol, and only I can kill him. The next moment, the Demon of Light's beautiful eyes threw at the Lord of Li Sol, and a sound of anger like a thunder in the sky filled the air. "Come out!" In an instant, the sand and dust did not stop. Accompanied by the voice of the Demon of Light, it roared violently, like an angry vicious dog, and the huge sand and dust waves were suffocating. Demon of Light, I have no grudges with you in the past and no enmity with you in the past. Why did you call the entire demon army to attack me in Li Sol domain? Listening to the words of the light demon, the Lord of Li Sol asked directly without losing his aura. Master Li Sol, you are really a noble person who forgets things too much. You still remember him. At that time, on the white palm of the Demon of Light, a beautiful scroll was thrown directly at the Lord of Li Sol. This is. How is it possible? The Lord of Li Sol didn't understand at first, but at this moment, he looked at the domineering man on the scroll, but his eyes became shocked. Demon of Light. Wife of the Demon Emperor. So it is, so it is. After a while, Lord Li Sol roared frantically as if he knew the truth, his expression fluctuated, and he didn't even dare to look directly at the Demon of Light. On that day, I saw with my own eyes that you completely obliterated him. Today, I will use your life to pay homage to him. After a while, the Demon of Light spoke slightly, and the voice contained a trace of cold killing intent, sweeping out. That's evil intent. Xiao Yang and Haisha Longlang looked at the domineering man on the scroll, but their brows were furrowed. Demon Emperor? Master? The two said almost in unison. On the scroll is a rather handsome man, with a contemptuous expression and angular facial features, standing with his hands behind his back, and under his dark green sleeves, there is a terrifying aura that transcends the heavens and the earth. No way. After a while, the Haishan Longlang was suddenly surprised as if he remembered something. As the only ruler of the demon world, the Demon Emperor once obtained a wife when he was jointly sealed by the powerhouses of the three realms, and after the Demon Emperor was sealed, the wife also disappeared, but the Black Dragon Wolf still remembers it to this day. The Demon Emperor had specially instructed himself that he must find her, otherwise, after she knew the truth of the matter, she might do some unreasonable things. I can't believe that the Demon of Light is actually the wife of the Demon Emperor, so the Demon Emperor is also colluding with the evil race from outside the territory without authorization. It's right to die, well deserved. Seeing the Demon of Light with such a violent aura, the Master of the Soul smiled slowly. However, the most puzzling thing for the Lord of Li Sol is that among the evil races outside the realm, almost the evil ones cannot have the aura of light at all. Now the power of the Devil of Light is as sacred as light. If the Lord of Li Sol guesses if there is nothing wrong, I am afraid that this belongs to the power of the Holy See in the human world. Lord of the Li Sol, You will be stubborn even when you are about to die. Just use your death to pay homage to his spiritual body. Light. The demon of light, which was originally calm, was so agitated by the Lord of Soul Li, and layers of light burst out like ripples all over the body. In a short period of time, it completely wrapped the entire desert hinterland. Breath, inviolable, like the gods above. Damn it. With the demon of light's actions like this, the ghostly aura around Lord Li's soul plummeted, and even the power of Xiao Yang's weak and evil intention was rapidly weakened, and the light-based fighting chi for their suppression, unprecedented tyranny. The demon of light is the master's wife. Madam, the master has not fallen, you must not do stupid things. And looking at the demon of light in a state of anger, the Haisha dragon wolf can only temporarily defend itself. If it goes up against such a tyrannical fluctuation, I am afraid the black devil dragon wolf can only be seriously injured in an instant. At the beginning, the demon emperor was jointly sealed by the powerhouses of the three realms, and their demon world called the demon emperor's fall to the outside world, in order not to let the people with intentions take advantage of the fire. But how did they know that this voice reached the ears of the demon of light? And I don't know why the demon of light would read it. To that scene after scene, it changed his nature greatly. Originally, she was only a high-level person in the holy sea of the human world. After the private life with the demon emperor, the two separated and prepared to go back to settle the grievances of their respective forces, thus agreeing on a private lifelong date. But at that time, the two did not know their true identities. Unfortunately, the two had just separated, and the demon emperor was sealed. Therefore, the senior officials of the Holy See, through some special means, saw that the demon emperor was jointly sealed by the three world overlords. In a fit of rage, eager for revenge, he fell into the abyss and became a real demon of light. Now, summoning the demon guards to attack Li Soul domain is only to completely obliterate the Lord of Li Soul, and to avenge the husband who has fallen under the Lord of Li Soul. But the demon of light was kept in the dark from the beginning, so he made mistakes again and again, because he did not know that the demon emperor was known to be immortal, so he was wiped out by the overlords of the three realms and did not completely fall, but unfortunately she did not know that's all. At this moment, the rays of light descended, and countless sacred breaths emerged, as if the gods were punishing the criminals. The strength of the demon of light was infinitely magnified, and vaguely, directly touched the reincarnation. Countless rays of light emerged, and immediately paved the way for the devil of light. The pure white rays of light turned into white dresses, decorating the devil of light's breath as extremely sacred, serious, and inviolable. Bright saint clothes. How is that possible? Looking at the demon of light surrounded by white dresses, Lord Li Soul couldn't help but lose his voice. Bright holy clothing, this is not only an armed force, but also an armor. After wearing it, the strength will increase significantly. Perhaps the strength of the demon of light has not yet reached the level of Samsara, only the 8-star fighting immortal, but now that the light saint cloak is added, it has slowly turned into a scene of white armor wrapped in countless ancient runes. The white armor was transformed by the dress, sacred and incomparably pure. After the breath of the demon of light was pushed to the peak. Half time. After a while, a pair of milky white wings slowly spread out at the top of the huge sand wave. With a slender figure, he was wearing white armor. The white armor completely dispelled the countless gloomy atmospheres in the entire desert, and his body was as dazzling as the sun. The demon of light under half reincarnation. Bastard. Looking at such a terrifying demon of light, the corners of his mouth kept wriggling, and the sacred incantations continued to permeate. After a while, they turned into countless white halos, illuminating the entire desert hinterland, and even countless people in the desert. Elements, energy, all quietly crawl down in an instant, just like welcoming the real goddess of light. Damn it. Light devil, stop me. Are you going to destroy this place? Seeing the sacred energy becoming more solid and brighter, the illusory soul body of the Lord of Souls couldn't help trembling. Even if he touches reincarnation, if the demon of light in front of him unleashes such a terrifying attack, his only end will be destruction. Li Hun, when you joined the powerhouses of the three realms to kill him, how could you ever be soft-hearted? So, I just want you to taste the pain of Wang Guang's soul eater. Even this kind of pain is not as good as 1/10,000th of what he suffered back then. Today you will surely die. Seeing the panic that only appeared on the face of Lord Li Soul, the demon of light smiled. Ever since she knew that the demon emperor had completely fallen, she had abandoned her status as a high-ranking member of the Holy See, and left the Holy See desperately. From the goddess of light, who was admired by the world, she was reduced to the demon of light who is now spurned by the world. Countless pain and torture, who knows? But all of this is not important. As long as you can completely obliterate the Lord of Li's soul and avenge him, even if it is broken, what is there to be afraid of? But today, the demon of light came with the determination to die, and the purpose was to perish with the Lord of Li's soul. The demon of light, the demon emperor, is not dead. Today you are so aggressive. If you are known by the demon emperor, I am afraid that he will also feel sorry for you, and then you will be truly separated. Furthermore, Li's soul territory, is not a place where you foreigners can run wild. The Lord of Li's soul forcibly restrained the anger in his heart and roared. Not dead. I have seen it with my own eyes and heard it with my own ears. How can it be fake? As of now, in the name of the God of Light, I will judge you thoroughly. Go to with all your remorse. You shouldn't provoke him, and you shouldn't take the initiative to join forces with other two-world powerhouses to obliterate him. The forbidden technique of light. Light judgment demon sword. The high-pitched chant sounded violently, like a sacred voice that purifies the evil in the world, and it sounded completely in the desert hinterland. For a time, the demon of light was wearing white armor and blowing Buddha, and countless milky white ancient texts. Like with life, it beats slowly, and outlines the entire desert hinterland. Even in front of this power, other powerhouses appear as small as ants. Mad. Looking at the demon of light, who was in madness and did not hesitate to activate the forbidden technique, the face of the master of the soul finally showed an extremely solemn look. Forbidden. The word in significance contains some kind of supreme power, because only the Holy See has such a level. The so-called forbidden arts are the same as those of the top-level immortal arts in the Great Thousand World, but there is no division of immortal arts in the Holy See, and immortal arts are equal to forbidden art. The only difference between the two is that in the display of the forbidden technique, only the real high-level people in the Holy See who have been intimated by the angel. Once the forbidden technique is used, thousands of miles of land will be turned into nothingness. Within 100 years, no grass will grow, and it will even turn into a ruined area unsuitable for any human beings to survive. It may be rude to say that the forbidden technique is the strongest fighting technique under the divine technique. And this kind of forbidden technique can only be performed by the supreme power of the Holy See. Alas! Looking at the furious demon of light provoked by the Lord of Souls in just a few words, the Heishan Longlang couldn't help clenching his fists tightly. He is loyal to the demon emperor, and his life is also given by the demon emperor. No matter what today, he must protect Xiao Yan and the demon of light, even if his body is shattered, but if he wants to tell the truth, only after this forbidden technique has completely arrived. Because once the forbidden spell begins to be cast, it cannot be interrupted unless the caster dies. Light element forbidden technique, the strongest single attack. Bright judgment sword. The evil Xiao Yang on the side controlled his body and leaned towards the black dragon wolf. The dark cloak behind him emitted bursts of strong fluctuations, protecting the three of them. Even Xiao Sensheng is helpless at this time, and then he can only wait for the forbidden technique to be used safely. Madman, madman, madman. Looking at the rising aura, the demon of light with half-reincarnation level power in a short period of time, looking at the top of his head, an amber-colored handle the size of 100 meters, the divine sword of light was slowly taking shape, and the master of Li's soul couldn't help but scolded. Once the forbidden technique is displayed by the demon of light, I am afraid that this place will turn into a pile of ruins, and it will not be able to recover for 100 years and 1,000 years, and this is the base camp of Li Huanyu. And he can only endure secretly. This kind of thing, anyone will be violent. The devil of light, you forced me. Seeing the division of light so bold, the expression of the master of the soul began to change, from a face full of fear to apathy, even a madness, and this madness among them, there is even a disdain, as if the attack of this demon of light does not pose any threat. After a while, his pupils turned into a rare pink. At the same time, he was not looking at the demon of light who was using the forbidden technique, because he knew that with his power, he could not shake it in the slightest, but the corners of his mouth changed. Got crazy. WAN soul art. With a light snort, countless yellow sands emerged above the desert hinterland, and immediately turned into a line of yellow sand soldiers wearing armor, standing solemnly beside the Lord Li soul. Not good. At this moment, Xiao Yang, who was hiding in his soul realm, suddenly noticed something and lost his voice. What's going on? Xiao Sensheng has been replying to his strength since the demon of light appeared, and now asked Xiao Yang in the Do Chi Si. He doesn't want to devour acacia and broken enteritis. A crazy thought filled Xiao Yang's heart. Keep it for me. Zaidu roared, and the pink flame that had been standing quietly on the palm of the Lord of Soul Li was thrown directly into his soul body. With such an appearance, The Lord of Li Soul actually wants to directly devour Acacia Broken Enteritis. Not good. This guy is really going to devour Acacia Broken Enteritis. Seeing the Lord of Li Soul's actions, Xiao Yang, who was in the world of Do Qi, lost his voice. Xiao Yang knew that Acacia Broken Enteric Inflammation was a rather mysterious holy flame among holy flames. If the method mastered by the Master of the Soul is swallowed by him, the consequences may be unimaginable. Hey, there really is no way. At this moment, Yue shook his head slightly. Obviously there was nothing he could do. The current Master of Soul Li has mastered the method of swallowing the holy flame with the soul body, and even the restraint method that their Soul Academy is proud of has been completely cracked. Yue has always wondered why the Lord of Soul Li did not swallow the holy flame. It turned out to be reserved as a backup, because if the Master of Li Soul seizes Xiao Yang, then the effect of swallowing Acacia Flame will be even higher. Today's soul body swallowing, the power is naturally not comparable to the perfection of human body swallowing. At this moment, the Lord of Li Soul is already in the real semi-reincarnation realm. Once he is swallowed by Acacia and broken enteric disease, he breaks through to the real reincarnation. I am afraid that the forbidden technique of the Demon of Light will not be able to cause serious damage to him. Even Xiao Sensheng and the Demon of Light, 2.5 reincarnations to deal with the Master of the Soul under reincarnation, have no chance of winning. Reincarnation, half reincarnation, the difference is one word, but it is very different. And most importantly, once he is successfully swallowed by the Lord of Souls, he will be reborn as a real human from a soul that cannot condense a human body. If you ask the Lord of Li Soul at that time, I am afraid that he will become the real Xion, the most powerful person that the Lord of Li Soul has never seen before. Boom. It takes a lot of time to display the forbidden technique, and within this time, the Demon of Light is like a goddess of light under the protection of the holy clothes of light. She interrupted her display, and the Lord of Li Soul was also completely wrapped by a pink energy ripple because of the devouring of Acacia Broken Enteritis. The power of the domain that comes with Acacia Broken Enteritis. After a while, the emptiness of Lord Li Soul was completely enveloped by pink flames, apparently entering the realm to devour Acacia and Broken Enteritis. The power of that realm makes it impossible to detect, or even break into it. For a time, in the sky, the aura of supreme light gathered crazily. At the same time, a scene of pink flames in the void was also brewing some kind of tyrannical power, but the whole body of the two contained a kind of immeasurable power. Terrifying power, daunting. There is no doubt that the battle situation will be completely disintegrated no matter who is the first to succeed. I didn't want to do this, but unfortunately I was forced to help. Although this will make my later plans a lot of trouble, but boy, remember, the things and body in your body are tailor-made for me, you can't die. Just when the Master of Li Soul had just submerged into the void of pink flames, a voice transmission from the soul poured into Xiao Yang's Do Qi Si. This shocked Xiao Yang's soul. It was obviously the last voice left by the Lord of Li Soul, and from this hideous voice, Xiao Yang could easily tell that the Lord of Li Soul had absolute confidence in entering the cycle of reincarnation. Hey! After the rest, the place returned to calm, but at this moment, Xiao Yang's eyes were gloomy. Obviously, they did not expect this situation, otherwise the Demon of Light would not strike. At this time the Lord of Li Soul has been completely defeated. Let's go, we must go now. After a few breaths, the evil Xiao Yang said in a deep voice, and only when he reached the level of half reincarnation did he understand the current situation. He originally lived in the clan lines of the Xiao clan, and entered Xiao Yang's body by chance. Now he was finally awakened by Xiao Yang, but in the battle just now, he had consumed too much power. Only the 8-star fighting immortal level strength. Once the Devil of Light and the Lord of Li Soul are freed, the price will be quite heavy, and the 10 Palace Yang Luo is only himself awakened by Xiao Yang. No matter what, neither himself nor Xiao Yang can death, the other 9 powerhouses still need them to wake up. I can't go, I have to take the Demon of Light back, because he is my master's wife. If this misunderstanding is not resolved, I will be ashamed of my master. Haisha Longlang smiled slyly, death was nothing to him. Fear, the bright fighting intent in his eyes permeated. I'm not leaving either. Yue shook his head slightly, he naturally wanted to protect him at the last moment. If the Lord of Li Soul breaks through the cycle of reincarnation, with her fierceness, she can only die, so he really wanted to witness Li Soul's death with his own eyes. Whether the Lord is reborn or fallen. I leave the body to you, I'll take a rest. Xiao Sensheng could only shake his head when he heard the words, and immediately lived in Xiao Yang's soul realm, and handed over the control of his body to Xiao Yang. This guy, Lord of Li Soul, devours holy flames like this, so there will be no sequelae. Xiao Yang just regained control, clenched his fists tightly, and couldn't help saying, "There are no sequelae. If you talk about sequelae, it was already a sequela when he was weak just now. Unfortunately, the Master of Soul is cautious by nature, and there is nothing to do now." Yu waved his hand weakly. "Senior, thank you for what happened in the past." Listening to Yu's words, Xiao Yang nodded happily, and cast his eyes towards the Haisha dragon wolf. "Hey, I almost forgot about the business. This time I came out of the demon realm to find you. If there is time after the ghost realm is over, I hope you will come back to the demon realm with me." Heishan Longlang scratched his head and grinned. "No problem." Xiao Yang nodded with a smile. Even Xiao Yang vaguely felt that his trip to the demon world should be related to the so-called demon emperor. Next, just wait quietly. After some conversation, Yu whispered, "I'm afraid it's not that simple. Am I right? Master of the West God Temple." After a while, Xiao Yang smiled casually, his eyes on the golden sand above the desert hinterland. Crack! With a sound, the yellow sand at the bottom of the desert's hinterland trembled strangely, and a dark gate of space suddenly appeared above the desert. Such a keen sense of smell. As expected of the guy named by the Lord of Li Soul to be on guard against. As Xiao Yang's voice fell, hundreds of black shadows poured out like worms from the gate of space above the desert. Fang Hao, the master of the West Temple. Hua Shao, the head of Li Hunwei. Familiar names emerged from Yu's mouth. Master Li Soul is really well prepared for this reincarnation road. Looking at the 100-strong men in front of him, Heishan Longlang laughed suddenly, and the demonic aura spread out into the sky. He knew that these hundreds of black shadows were all elites in the temple, and their strength was almost in the ranks of the 6-star fighting immortals, and even the 8-star fighting immortals. There were 4 of them. On the order of the Lord of Li Soul, to capture Xiao Yang, the most wanted person in Li Soul domain, who is blocking the road. Kill it. Hundreds of strong men lined up, and Fang Hao's expression became distorted, and a sinister smile with victory in his hand spread out. At this moment, there is only a Heisha Longlang in the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortal, and Yu, who has the strength of the 8-star fighting immortal in the early stage, and Xiao Yang, who is only a 5-star fighting immortal. How to deal with the elites in this Western temple, and Li Soul Guard. Those were 4 8-star fighting immortals. As for the 2 voids above the desert hinterland, they are changing all the time. Once the transformation is completed, I am afraid that this place will evolve into a real purgatory. This video will end here.